Hey guys, welcome. I'm your friendly neighborhood bee, and let's get straight into it, shall we? From r/, am I the butthole? Am I the butthole for speaking to my overweight assistant about her business lunch and making her cry? At the beginning of the year, I hired an assistant, Amy. Amy is great at what she does, and I have already given her a raise because I felt she was underpaid for what she was doing. I'm working on several large deals, so I gave Amy the lead on one of them. She did an excellent job. I set up a lunch appointment with that client on Friday. I told him I would be bringing Amy as she has been instrumental in their account. He didn't have a problem with this. Amy was professional, knowledgeable, and did an overall good job. The client and I were both impressed, with the exception of one thing. The client and I both ordered burgers and fries. Amy ordered a steak, well done, mashed potatoes, steamed veggies, and a side of soup. The client and I finished about the same time. It was another 15 minutes before Amy finished. Then the waitress came around and asked if we wanted dessert. The client and I both said no. Amy ordered cheesecake and coffee. I realized I hadn't spoken to Amy about client lunches before. So after the meeting, I explained to her that it is best to follow the client's lead. If they order simple food, we order simple food. If they decline dessert, we decline dessert. If we want something afterwards, we can pick it up later. Okay. Amy did not take this well. At first, she offered to pay me back. I told her it was not a money issue. I have no problem buying her lunch, but to keep in mind it's about business. I told her I usually order wraps or burgers because they're not too messy, like spaghetti, and I can take small bites in case I'm asked a question. I can also match the client's eating speed, so there is no awkward waiting on either side. Then she started crying, saying it's because she's fat, her words, not mine. I again told her it was about strategy. I thought she had great potential and I wanted to help guide her. I then told her about some of my past faux pas. For example, ordering spaghetti and getting it all over my shirt, or once I ordered first and ordered a cheeseburger when the client was vegetarian and highly disgusted at me. She was still upset when she left. I feel like a butthole for bringing this to her attention, but my intentions were good. I feel like she has great potential. The meal did not concern me as much as how she took instruction. Now I'm wondering if others think I was wrong for bringing it up at all. Am I the butthole? No, you're not the butthole. And I believe you're right that it is that deep. There are a few people in the comments trying to go back and forth. Very few, but a couple saying, oh, it's not that deep. It's just food, da 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 da. But you're not having lunch with family. You're having lunch with a client. This is business. You're right. It is business. And how you're perceived in a business setting absolutely matters, especially, and something that she should understand, as a woman. That should matter. How you're perceived matters, especially in a business setting. You don't order steak and potatoes and dessert and da 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 when the client's just getting a burger and fries. You don't do that. It's common sense, I want to say, in a way. It's just trying, you have to gauge the environment that you're in, and you let the client order first. You let them set the tone for it, and you treat them. You don't set the tone for them. This and her being so overly defensive is something I would also be concerned about. Yes, I understand her being touchy about her weight and sensitive. I understand that. But you didn't talk about her weight at all. You were talking about business faux pas. And you even related to that by saying, yeah, I've made these mistakes in the past. I did this and this, but let's grow from it. I should have told you about this before, this and that. I'm sorry, but like from going forward, let's do it this way. Business faux pas, teaching moment. You're trying to mentor her. And the way that she took it as just an immediate attack is someone professionally that I would be thinking twice about. This is not a weight issue. It is a professionalism issue. not the butthole. And if you enjoy listening to me read you stories, I'm here every day, so make sure to like and subscribe. Next one. Am I the butthole for wanting my dad in the delivery room while I give birth? I was raised by my dad alone. He's my absolute best friend, and he's my comfort person. Every time I went through a traumatic experience, including getting assaulted once, he was the first person I ran to. His presence there just brings me love and comfort. I'm now 8 months pregnant with my first baby with my husband, and we're having problems with my mother-in-law. My husband knows how much I love my dad, and they're great friends as well, and he knows and is okay with him being in the delivery room with me. But my mother-in-law is freaking out. She says the only man who should be there is my husband, and she should be able to be there too because she's a woman and it's her grandbaby. She makes it seem like my dad is a creep, but I'm his daughter and it's his grandbaby as well, and I'm the one giving birth, so it should be my decision. Am I wrong and weird for wanting my dad and husband to be in there with me and not my mother-in-law? No, you're not wrong or weird. And you, in the beginning, when writing this, you justified yourself for wanting someone in there. You're the one going through a very traumatic experience that's scheduled in a way. You're the one going to have your bits up in the wind. You can have anyone in there or not in there that you decide. And your mother-in-law doesn't have a place in there. She needs to stay in her lane. You need to push and nudge your husband more, like, hey, get your mother, get that woman, get your mother, get your mama. Like, no. If you want your dad in there, have your dad in there. You don't need to justify wanting certain people in there. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be your brother, cousin, uncle, I don't care. Have whoever in there that you want in there. Don't have to justify yourself. Don't have to explain yourself. Not the butthole. Next victim. From r/Girl Dinner Diaries. We got a new one today. Boyfriend of 3 years, his model ex-girlfriend is moving back to our city. 99% sure he's going to leave. Alrighty then. I've been dating my boyfriend, John, for 3 years. Completely helplessly in love with this man. It's the most amazing relationship of my life, and now I feel like it's all going to come crashing down. His first ever girlfriend, his first ever love, first everything really, is moving back to our city. She moved away to pursue her dreams and eventually chose not to come back in the time she had previously told him. They broke up solely because of that. They stayed in contact for a year or so after the breakup, called a few times a week, and continued playing games with each other. Every time she was in town, the two would get back together for a bit and spend every second together. Most of that stopped after John and I started dating. She was very respectful of our relationship. I wish she was a bit worse. I'd have a reason to hate her. And the two only really checked in on birthdays. In the start of our relationship, I felt really insecure of her, especially because she became a freaking model. How am I supposed to compete with that? You don't. You don't. Anywho, continuing. He was really sweet about it. He told me that the relationship is in the past and he's only got eyes for me. We talked about a lot of issues he had with her and that he doesn't have with me, and that made me feel much better. I don't like this. Eventually, I did forget about her. Her name barely came up, I think is what you meant. And we almost never spoke or thought of her or them to being together. Now, she's moving back. I found out from a friend of a friend. I found out that she wasn't planning on contacting him because of me. Ever since I found out, I've been on edge, and all I've ever been doing is comparing myself to her. I feel like I've turned into a stalker, always thinking about what if they run into each other. The one thing that's messing with me the most is that she became everything she wanted to be and everything he wanted her to be. She has her own apartment and is this insanely independent person that she always wanted to be. She's so perfect and he loved her so much. I'm very afraid he will leave me for her. I can't talk to him about this because what if I tell him she's back and then he gets back together with her? I literally have nothing to compare with. Every issue the two had is now resolved. They both make good money. They can live in an amazing apartment and have an amazing life. I make mid money. It's because of my lack of contribution that we have to stay in a tiny apartment. You, how old are you? I, and I don't mean that in a insulting way necessarily. You just sound very naive and extremely insecure. Just you seem like one big bundle of nerves, which to a degree I can understand, but this is a lot, babe. This is a lot. Like, you don't know that they would be great together now because they both make good money and da 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 da. Finances is not what makes a relationship at all. Obviously, love is not enough, but finances isn't what makes a relationship. Compatibility is. I don't particularly like that they still like to call each other on their birthdays and be like, "Oh, happy birthday" to each other, considering they had such a great relationship, but that's a whole other issue. Uh, you you just sound like one big bundle of nerves, and I think you need to sit and chill. You need to take a little bit of a chill pill. Someone in the comments recommended to OP that she needs to pursue her dreams and her independence and not be so wrapped up in a relationship, because yeah, he could have been the best, could be the best relationship you've ever had at this point in your life, but that doesn't mean that he has to become your world and you have to revolve around him. Like, pursue your dreams, or pursue your independence, figure out what you want to do, travel, whatever. Like, you don't need to be like this. You don't need to be so heart-wrenchingly insecure and just a little bundle of nerves, and you're spiraling, you're driving yourself into a hole, you're hurting yourself by doing this. Don't do that. That Talk to your therapist, breathe, talk to some friends, get it out. You need some help, babe. You really need some therapy right now. You need to fly. So you need to go fly. Get your wings. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.